Hello, my name is Peter, and today I'm going to be showing you how I take care of my Musa Basjoo plant during the summer months. I'm going to be going through how I fertilize my plants and also going to be taking a few pups off that I can then plant in other locations or give away to family and friends. I will also be going over some of my tips that I've learnt while growing this plant and other banana plants to help you keep your bananas looking nice and healthy during the summer months, especially in cooler climates like the one we have here in the UK. But first of all, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I release new videos. So I decided to remove 2 pups from this Musa Basjoo clump. I was planning originally to do this last month, however there should be enough time to get them settled in a new location before the end of the season. I wanted to remove a few of these pups as they were getting in the way of the path in front of the Musa Basjoo clump. I also wanted to get it to focus its energy on the main plant, or the mother plant. Also, they were starting to shade out the manzano banana that I have planted at the side of this Basjoo clump. So I wanted to make sure that there was enough light getting to that plant as well to allow it to grow a lot faster. So a few weeks ago I added this mulch layer, just some wood chips that I've scattered around all the banana plants that I've got planted in ground. And this is simply just to help retain moisture and also suppress weeds, and it will also break down over time to add into the soil. So I'm just going to move the mulch out of the way so then I can get at the pup that I'm going to remove. So I'm also going to pull back some of the compost that's around the base of the Musa Basjoo pup that I'm going to remove. You want to try and dig out as much as you can around the area where the pup attaches to the main corm. So next you're going to need something quite strong and sharp to be able to try and separate the pup from the main corm. You're going to need to push straight down or at least slightly away from the pup that you're trying to remove. It doesn't matter too much if you go a little bit into the mother corm. If you go too close to the pup that you're trying to remove, you might end up not getting enough roots and corm on the plant. It was quite hard to do it with the trowel, so I'm going to use a spade instead. I'm just going to continue to expose a few of the roots around the pup, and then I'll be able to have a better idea of where I'm going to be able to dig around to pull it out of the ground. Due to where this pup was, it wasn't that easy to get to it, so it took quite a bit of effort to remove it. So as you can see, I managed to remove the pup, and there's quite a good root system on it. So this should allow me to transplant it somewhere else in my garden or grow it in a container. I'm just going to get all the loose roots from the main plant and just try and bury them a little bit and lightly cover them with the soil that was already here. There's going to be some more steps that we do later, but just for now we're going to cover them lightly with the existing soil. I'm going to repeat the same process with this other Musa Basjoo pup. It's also taking over the pathway a little bit, it sticks out quite a bit, and I'm also going to be removing this little one at the front as well, as it's too close to the main pup to be able to separate without damaging it. Also it's growing towards the pathway as well, so I don't want it there. So I'm going to repeat the same process again. I'm going to move the mulch away from the plant, and then I'm going to dig around with my hand just to remove the compost around the pups that I'm going to remove. and try and expose some of the roots so I can see where I'm going to be able to cut around it. This should be enough to sever the connection from the mother plant. So it looks like the little one didn't have much comb from how I ended up cutting it, but it has got one root at least, so there is a chance this might survive, but there isn't much comb on it. But the main one has a large comb and there's plenty of roots on it, so this one should do quite well for transplanting. So yeah, there's a few pups left. Obviously I removed the ones nearer to the front, but there's quite a few left. There's at least 2 larger ones and another one that looks like a swordsucker. That's going to be quite a fast growing one. And then there's a couple of tiny ones as well that just started out. So you can see these 2 largest pups that we removed. They're both good size and they should both transplant quite well. And once again, we're just going to backfill the hole that we made lightly with the compost that was already around the plant. Just trying to get the roots covered again. So next I'm going to fertilize the Musa Basjoo clump. So I'm going to remove the wood chips that are still remaining around the plant and just push them to the side. So the first fertilizer I'm going to apply is this fish blood and bone, which has an NPK of 556. So it's a pretty balanced fertilizer, and we're just going to work it into the top layer. So we'll scatter it around the plant first, making sure that we follow the directions of the packet and also going all the way around the plant root ball. We're going to lightly work the blood, fish and bone fertilizer into the top layer of the soil. I'm going to make sure I go all the way around the plant. Next I'm going to add another type of fertilizer. This is an 8611 NPK and it's in a pellet form. So again, I'm just going to scatter them around the base of the plant as the directions suggest, and then also going to work this into the top layer of the soil as well. I'm going to add some multi-purpose compost to the base of the plant. I just cover up all the areas that I've added fertilizer, making sure I go all the way around the root ball area. And then I'm just going to spread the compost around evenly all the way around to make sure it's a nice even thickness around the plant. So once that's done, we can then apply the mulch layer over the top of the compost again. I'm just going to spread it all around from both sides to make sure there's a nice thick layer of mulch around the plant. So you can see now how much cleaner it looks with the pups at the front removed. So hopefully the main pseudostem will now grow a little bit faster. Now there's less pups draining energy from the root system. Ultimately I'd like to get one of these to flower. The Musa Basjoo flower is purely ornamental, but I think it would be quite nice to be able to get one to bloom here in my garden at some point in the future, assuming I can get a pseudostem to survive long enough to flower. So I'm going to pot up the pups that I removed. I'm just going to put them both into smallish containers, at least compared to the size of the root ball on the plants. And this is just as a temporary measure. I'm also going to be using just pure compost. I'm not going to be using a potting mix, as I do intend to transplant these pups into different parts of my garden. So I've got both of these largest pups potted up now, so I'm just going to leave these in containers until I decide where I'm going to plant them. And I would also recommend removing some of the leaves, as they will end up drooping, which is due to the plants having much smaller root systems now that they're not attached to the mother plant. I'm also going to try and pot up this little tiny pup as well. Even though it only has one root and a very small corm, there's still a chance it's going to continue to grow, so I'm going to pot it up anyway. The very last thing I'm going to do with my Musa Basjoo clump is give it a good watering in, and I'm going to use some seaweed extract diluted into some water. I'm just going to give it a good soaking all the way around. I'm also going to do the same to the pots as well. So I repeat this fertilising schedule every month during the growing season. So that's the bloodfish and bone, the pellet based fertiliser, and also the liquid seaweed fertiliser. So thank you all for watching this video on how to remove pups from your Musa Basjoo and take care of it during the summer months. I hope this video helped, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified when I release new videos. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.